He is a traveling poet and former El Faro crew member and has written a poem and created a video dedicated to the men and women who died when the cargo ship sank. Remember, it was last October on its way to Puerto Rico. Mechanical failure stranded the ship, which then drifted right into the eye of Hurricane Joaquin.
Science tells us water drops will rise up to the sky. Clouds will form from that like teardrops waiting in the eyes of spirits prematurely raised from bodies prematurely stopped. I watched the news, then turned away from news I couldn't watch. And my grandpa might have frowned if he'd known I'd cried like this. But I'm sure he'd understand I've not had friends that died like this. My heart has not been broke like this. They say that no one could survive. I watched my city pray for miracles that someone was alive. But as the Coast Guard searched the waters all the Coast Guard found. They say that judging from the hurricane that everyone had drowned. The news has faces I remember. They're posting faces I once knew. They found a body in the water but would not determine who. Because that who was not enough when 32 were not accounted. There's no drills to lift your life when Mother Nature's got you grounded. Come out, you are surrounded. There's no running from the
Product Olabode Orasade, who goes by Odd Rod, by the way, is joining us this morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And you just filmed that. You said you shot that last Saturday.
Last Saturday, yes.
Explain your relationship, if you will, to the El Faro. I know, was it 12 years?
I was a longshoreman for 12 years, and every time the ship would come in, we'd unload and load it.
And so you, I'm sure, had an opportunity to meet the crew members, and you became friends with one in particular.
Yes, absolutely. I would pass by most of the people that I saw in those pictures, but there was a mate, Danielle, that would always come back and close the doors. I have to call for a mate every time, and she would come down and close the door behind me, loading it.
What was it like when you heard what happened? I mean, first that it had disappeared, did you immediately, obviously, fear for the worst, or, you know, not necessarily completely uncommon?
I had faith. I was hoping that things were going to be different. And then we waited around, and as everyone else did, as soon as they mentioned that there was a chance that it had sank, or they believed that it sank, I cried. And the poem became the tears.
We have video also, obviously, of that was released not that long ago. That was video, obviously, from underneath the surface of the water, 3 miles down. Seeing this, I mean, you're familiar with this ship.
It's heartbreaking.
Difficult? I mean,
it was heartbreaking. It brought tears again. Like, I've been crying more than anything about this, and the least I had to finish the video. That's why I did it so fast, because I wanted to bring life back to those victims.
And we know that mechanical failure was an issue. What you know about the ship, we've talked to a local, very well-known maritime attorney, you know, and the fact that part of the ship obviously just detached. Is there anything about the ship that you're familiar with that maybe didn't surprise you about what happened?
The ship was old. In the poem, I said I always hated the El Faro. When that ship came in, we used to always hate to load it because I think there were parts that were missing, as far as we have to load it and lock in containers in certain places, and that ship was just so old and raggedy, it was missing parts, so we'd have to double lash the containers down on that ship.
Were any of the crew members worried about that? I mean, did you talk about it, you know,
back then? I did.
Or?
I used to talk. That's why I say I joked about it with Danielle. I was like, why are we even still using the ship? I used to hate to use that ship. Out of the 3 that we would load, that was the worst ship to me that we had. And I mentioned it, of course, but our voice only goes so far. We were, you know, longshoremen.
Well, and I think that you look at such a large ship, a cargo ship, you think it's so big, nothing could really happen to it. But is that just something for those of us who aren't familiar, obviously, with these, that we just don't realize the danger? That's
what breaks my heart, is the size of it. And to imagine what happened, like that, watching 60 Minutes and seeing the guy break down, that's how I feel. Because I can't imagine what they had to go through, like walking back and forth on that ship and climbing up and down on it for 12 years. Like, I know the size of that thing, and for it to... containers alone to be broken or loose on that, man, that's terrifying. It's terrifying.
What do you hope to accomplish with your poem?
I think it's happening. The families of the victims have been contacting me, and they are finding comfort, and they're finding a bit of peace from the poem, because for a minute it felt like it was kind of silent after the new year passed and everything else is happening. Not many people are talking about the tragedy, so it kind of drummed it back up, so that they've been inboxing me and saying they feel comfort, they feel good about the poem itself, and I didn't expect that, but I'm happy. That's probably why it did happen, you know.
Thank you so much. I know you
My
go by
pleasure.
Odd Rod. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you
Do
so much,
appreciate
Jen.
it.